If modern life feels overwhelming, you are not alone. Even living in New Zealand, the cost of living is spiraling out of control, and a comfortable retirement looks like an unattainable dream. People are finding that genuine happiness and good health are the luxury they seek. Modern life has made us numb, and now we mistake endurance or achievement for happiness. Social media portrays life as a series of fantastic snippets of the very best moments rather than what it truly is. We are a culture where stress is a virtue, your success is measured by your output, your bank balance, and the size of your house. Relationships suffer with both family and friends as time is eaten up by work and maintaining all the things we've acquired. After a sabbatical in our 40s, we realised we were trading our life for the time spent to make money.
Hi, we're Tracy and Baz, and if you have been watching our videos, you will have seen that recently we sold our home and all of our possessions to slow travel for our retirement. This was a really difficult decision to make, but it's been well worth it. We're 5 weeks in and we're starting to find our feet and learning how life looks for us now.
So, a little bit of background about us. We bought our first house when we were 23, obviously paid employees, we worked hard, renovated houses, had our daughter, and just lived the daily grind. And we sold, renovated another house. Then we had an opportunity to go into partnership and own a cafe, which we did for a couple of years with some friends, built it up, sold it after 2 years, and then decided we were going to take a sabbatical. We didn't own a home, we had money in the bank. So we headed to Europe. One-way tickets to Istanbul, where we travelled around, brought an old van, kitted it out, and just drove around Europe and ended up in Morocco at the end. And on the way, we joined the Workaway program, which enabled us to pick olives in Tuscany for 3 weeks. We went to southern Italy and helped renovate a stone cottage with an English couple, and just enjoy life, a nice relaxed pace. And as we travelled, we realised we don't need a lot to be happy. We had 2 bags, a van, and basically the open road.
An old van, an old Ford Transit that cost us £1,500. So not a lot at all.
And then while we were travelling, we got word that our daughter was going to present us with our first grandson. So consequently, we came home after about 10 months to see the birth of our first grandson. And then it was back into the daily grind of life. We both got full-time jobs, purchased another house, started renovating it, and then you're just back into that same old life that you had left behind.
So while we were working away, I'd always been reasonably athletic, and I was training for a duathlon and noticed some unusual symptoms. My body was not as strong as it used to be. My foot was slapping when I was running. So I went to a physio, and shortly thereafter I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis, which of course was, at the time I seemed disconnected from it. I was in denial that it would impact my life particularly. I was quite a dynamic person, very positive. I'd always managed to find the drive to get through anything in life. And so I sort of let the diagnosis sink in for a brief period, recovered from that relapse that had caused the problems in my body, and life went on as usual. And that was when I saw an ad for a small vineyard on the outskirts of Timaru where we lived, and we decided to go and have a look.
We love working outdoors in Italy so much, we brought the vineyard with a stone cottage in need of love, grounds that need tidied after being empty for a year. There was potential for a fantastic business of an Airbnb and a wedding and function centre. So we set to it with the odd trip overseas, including Jordan and parts of Southeast Asia. We were both still working full-time whilst working very hard on the vineyard. And that's when things became overwhelming, as it triggered several relapses that cost Tracey walking. After 3 years, we made the difficult decision to sell. We sold quickly, which we were grateful for, and moved back to our hometown to continue working and renovating houses. With the help of a good friend, we turned this into a business. But Tracey's health continued to decline, and we realised we needed to make some tough choices. So while we were finishing our final home and getting ready to put it on the market, we sort of sat down to talk and thought, is there another way that we can live our life without having to work hard until we're 65 and to get our pension? Now, we looked at options, and the easiest way was to find somewhere cheaper to live than our own country of New Zealand, where prices were rising rapidly, and it was getting uncomfortable thinking of how we would cope in our retirement. And we'd travelled extensively in Southeast Asia, and we knew that being there was cheap, a lot cheaper than our home country. So we started looking into thinking, well, maybe we can just travel in Southeast Asia for a time, knowing that it would be at least a third of our costs of living at home. Wasn't an easy decision to make, as we obviously had our daughter and grandchildren, but they had grown, they were older, 2 teenagers and an 8-year-old. And our daughter and her husband were looking at moving away from where we were living to pursue their own careers. So that was the hardest decision, was to leave them. But I think if the roles were reversed and they had wanted to move overseas to live a good life, we wouldn't have stood in their way, and they certainly did not want to stand in ours.
That made it a lot easier, and it made it easier to navigate mentally leaving other family, because they're all more self-sufficient, although our parents are aging, but we have siblings who can help take care of them. So yes, it certainly, there were some things we had to get lined up, and on the financial side, we had to talk to some people about some investment options so that the funds we do have would be making us some money while we were away. But we had renovated and sold many homes with a small business doing it at the end. That was our job. So we knew we had a lump sum to invest rather than holding onto a rental investment, which a lot of people do who take this life path. So we decided that that wasn't what we wanted to do. We didn't want to tie, and we didn't want something that could potentially, with the way tenants are now, there's a risk of devaluing your property. So that was our path to perhaps some financial security as we age.
And obviously the freedom to own nothing, it's a hard idea to conceive, but it is really refreshing. We don't have a vehicle that depreciates rapidly. We don't pay rates on a property. We don't pay insurances, apart from obviously our travel insurance. Our money's ours to use as we see fit, and it's quite a welcome relief to not have those burdens in your life.
Yes.
So yeah, it's going to take some getting used to, knowing that each day is yours. You try to get into a routine, because life is a routine, but you just have the moments where you can go, I'm just going to sit by the pool today, which is quite a nice feeling.
Yeah.
When life gets busy, we prize productivity over presence and connection. We value things because they are tangible proof of what we swapped our time for. We are grateful we realised this before it was too late. Now we're in our 50s, but we still have time to explore, time to practice good health, time to just relax, daydream, read, breathe. So we're not saying that everyone can necessarily do this, to stop and leave life. Obviously financial and family commitments these sometimes make it almost impossible. But maybe with some time and planning, you too may be able to find a path that leads to what is truly the most valuable asset we have in life, and that is time, whether it's a 12-month sabbatical or a life of traveling. I mean, there's maybe something that will make your life more enriched.
And it certainly took us quite a while to get ourselves to this point. It took 12 years from returning home from that sabbatical, my diagnosis, and it wasn't until that major health event that we really started to talk about what life truly is about. I think when you're young, you take your vitality for granted. Our output was huge. Both of us were highly productive. We worked really hard. We renovated houses. We both played sport, a lot of sport. And so we didn't allow a lot of time for relaxation. And my health obviously found a way to make me slow down. It forced me to, and to regroup. And actually that is the gift that I will say that MS has given me, is perspective. And I've still got a lot of learning to do. I'm not great at relaxing, so I'm learning how to do that. But you know, life is such a journey, and this next stage is exciting, and we'd love you to come along with us to see how things eventuate as we explore places with the potential that it might become one day, when we're a bit older, our permanent retirement spot. So join us.
Yeah, please like and subscribe to our channel and follow us.